Thank you, Ms. Safir, for reflecting the expertise of World Bank. And after having two speakers with a background of Microsoft, now we have brought you the manager of Microsoft's Moroccan subsidiary. So, and Mr. Hicham IRAQI HOUSSAINI is the general manager, yes. And he has been on this duty since 2017. And he is a state engineer holding a diploma from the very prestigious school of Muhammadiyah. And he has an experience of 22 years in Morocco and also in Dubai. And he left Microsoft for a while, and he came back in 2014, back to Moroccan subsidiary. And in between, he worked for the Nokia Siemens networks. And now we are very eager to hear what he's going to tell us. Please.
Thank you very much. I'm really happy to be part of you today. Thank you for hosting me here. I would like to tell you about what as Microsoft we are doing in this very disruptive industry with all the new technologies. Disrupting the economy. I would talk about globally what are we doing as Microsoft. I mean, we have Microsoft Philanthropy, which is kind of our arm for supporting community in order to get them ready for the next jobs that are happening in the world. I will not, talk that much about this. I think that all the speakers before highlighted many times that we are in the middle of a big disruption. I have maybe two things to say here. The first one, that we are in a world where the economy is shifting. I saw some statistics talking about by 2030, $200 trillion will move between companies, and mainly it's coming from companies who are more in the computer science age, who are taking control on the companies or the market where the traditional companies were before. One example, and you have maybe many on that you can mention. Tesla, for instance, even though they are producing less than 100,000 cars per year, their market capitalization is the same as General Motors, who are producing almost 1 million cars per year. So this is just one example. And any kind of Uber-like could apply on the same. With disruption, there are really different kind of jobs who need to be created, even jobs that we don't know today. And exactly 65% of children entering in primary school today don't know, about the job they will land into in the future. So this putting us to ask ourselves, what should we do ourselves? To prepare this next generation to be ready for the job of the future. This is really a fundamental question that we need to ask ourselves as individual, as community, as companies, and what we should do in order to help this new generation come in to be aligned with the market. And I heard Nasser saying that. It's quite a pity to see that our education system, I'm talking about the case of Morocco, and this is the case on many countries. We are still training our students with the curriculum that we did 10, 20 years before. There is something deeply wrong. So, definitely this is what I was saying, that we need absolutely to work for the new generation, but not only that. We need also to work, but by not leaving anybody else behind. Some statistic about the US, only the business of tracking the driver who are driving those long trucks across the country. We are talking about almost 2 million drivers who will be losing their jobs by next 5 years. So it's really short run, and we cannot imagine that we come up with new solution with the driverless car, with the drones, with whatever other solution for transportation and logistics and just forget about those people who will definitely lose their job. We need to think about how to reincarnate them, bring them back to relevant jobs with the computer science and new technologies. As Microsoft, we are defining digital skills. We are trying to have quite broad definition of digital skills from computer science in education, informatics, IT professionals, and we are every day learning about new digital skills that are coming to the market. We are talking also about digital citizenship. This is something new. Digital, designer. This is something that we need to include. So we are trying to embrace as much as people, as much as different industry to bring them together in this digital skills ecosystem. And definitely we are asking ourselves, why computer science? Again, computer science is really the new currency of any job. I heard lots of people talking about the number of opportunities that we are missing over there. And I like the example of GE. Their former CEO who said every employee should be a developer. And for me, even the Microsoft CEO is saying that every company is a software company. And this is it. We are seeing this again, the example of Tesla, of Uber, Airbnb, and you name it. Those companies were able to challenge the status quo, to challenge their market due to the computer science capabilities. They give them the capabilities to be very agile. And a decade before, we're talking about big companies, there are 18 small companies. Today, we are talking about agile companies, there are 18 big companies. And again, if you see the market, the big top 5 market capitalization in the world, they are all coming from computer science background. And here again, it's a matter of defining why is it's definitely the market, but also the wages we are seeing. Here is an example of the US market that can apply to many other markets, where we see the difference on the wages depending on which diploma we are getting. Definitely with computer science major, we are really ahead of the average market salary or whatever. So again, computer science teaches the real skills that we need. It's not only about programming. At the end of the day, not all of us will be programming, but basically what computer science teaches is all the capabilities about creativity, about problem solving, about looking at the things from different perspective, from different aspects, to be more creative, to be more agile on the way how we address problems. And this is, again, applicable for any kind of industry. And here is a list of what computer science can bring of skills, coordinating with others. Those are the skills that we need for definitely for today, and we aim that we need those skills for the near future. Unfortunately, we don't know the jobs of the future. So we need to forecast and to oversee what kind of jobs we will see. And one example, because at the end of the day, we can ask ourselves, okay, everybody will go, we'll start developing, we'll be having lots of needs of computer science engineers, for instance, or developers. And I remember in 2008, I saw one of Microsoft product. It's Visual Studio.net at that time, 2008, and I saw one capability was able to generate automatically codes. So you go through kind of workflow. I will not go through too much technicalities, but at that time I thought, man, it's done. It's over for developers. They will not anymore can have that high skills jobs. And today we see that we need more and more computer science engineers, and the future will be even will show us that we need more and more. Something essential that we're trying to solve as well with our approach on addressing the challenges with the deficiency on computer science skills is to address also the diversity side. You know, as much as we are diverse, as much as we are more productive, as much as we can really have more more intelligent solution to provide to any business, and definitely our vision is really to embrace as much as people from different race, from different I mean female as well, and additionally to that we observe that in the STEAM, science, technology, education, and maths, we have only 20% of female who are coming to this area, while the numbers are talking that the females, they have more capabilities to be very successful in computer science I mean degrees or major. So our approach as Microsoft is based on three pillars. The first one is to build the capabilities. The second one is to advocate for the change, and the last one to create the demand. And I want to go through it. I mean, very quickly on how we do it on every single. And here I would like to focus a bit on the you know, I mean, this code.org initiative that Microsoft created with other player in the industry. Code.org, it's kind of a website where we can teach at any kind of level, any kind of any age. We can let people learn how to code. Within almost 5 years, we have been able to address more than 10 million people across the world, and this is something tremendous. And the good things with code.org, as an example, anybody of us who can initiate to work on how and to learn how to code, and then he can become himself teaching and showing the people how to use it. And I want to share with you one example of how we have been successful to impact one of the community by engaging with them in computer science. This is a small video. I hope the sound will work perfectly.
When I was a kid, out of this group, the biggest dyeing and finishing plant for textiles in the world was here. And then Lane Company shut down, and then Burlington Industries. It's just weird. I mean, my first job, public job, not farming, was here. And my mom probably worked 40 years here.
You lost about 7,500 jobs in 2005 to 2007.
It's going to take a spark for it to come back up.
We were looking at what we need for our businesses to succeed, what kind of trainings we're lacking in, and a light bulb just went off with Carol. And he was like, we need computer science. We don't have anything like that in the high school.
I wanted them to have an opportunity to, say, okay, Microsoft believes in you. I believe in you. The leadership of the town believes in you, and they're willing to invest to bring you these opportunities so that, there is hope.
So he did some digging, and he came back, and he said there is this incredible program called TEALS. Everyone was all in.
TEALS is Microsoft investing in programs to bring computer science to kids that don't have an opportunity to get it another way. There's a series of volunteers, IT professionals, that want to invest their time in helping students learn computer science.
Methods used parentheses, right?
And the whole program is about training the teacher so that the teacher can pay it forward.
When you see that light bulb go off on a kid when they finally grasp a concept, that's what makes it worth it.
I think it kind of helps me determine what I want to do in the future.
And these students, they understand that they're not going to work in the same place that their grandfather and their mother and their father, how they worked.
The next step for them will hopefully be a college or technical school or something where they put those skills to use.
They can go away to school and they can become anything that they want to become. And I want them to bring that same hope back to Alta Vista that Carol did.
If I had the opportunity to do what I want here, then I don't think I would leave.
It's all about people helping people, and inspiring each other and giving each other opportunities. So if I can help, and TEALS can help spark something for somebody else, I think that's wonderful.
So this is one example of what Microsoft have been achieving with the one community. And something that is really interesting to see here, that people would love, to stay nearby to their family, where we see, I'm taking the example of Morocco, for instance, where most of the people, they need to come to the big cities to work, while the computer science, by design, it can be a remote job. So we need, to work on that side as well. This is something that we are doing here, even locally, that I can share with you later on. The second thing is to advocate for long-term and systemic change. And there was a lot of things was said before around policies and the policy making and how to work very closely to introduce the computer science courses in very early age. And the best way, to do it definitely is really to introduce it in the curriculum and to have the part of even the exams, that the official exams the student they will be taking. And this is definitely something that we need to work on into it. Imagine even in the US, we have less than 30% of college who introduce computer science as part of their curriculum. So we still have a lot of to do, even though in the US. And again, in the opportunities around computer science, they are huge in the US, and the number of students who are graduated every year, they are not even enough to address the needs in the US market. One number, the last year, the number of open position in the US was around 500,000 position, while the number of students graduates was around 43,000. So the gap is still huge even in the US, and the same apply to our countries as well. So again, as I said, so we need to start by really working closely on introducing the computer science, but also on debunking the myths. Most of the people, they think that computer science is only about coding, and again, it's not only coding. It's really to adopt the creativity behind the computer science. Computer science is not for someone like me, and we have lots of examples that people really adopt the computer science and help them to create complete different future for themselves. And there are kind of myths that we are working onto it on daily basis to help people to understand what is the interest of computer science and how they can adopt it. This is the example of code.org that I talked about before. Our impact as a company and our model is typically to work on train the trainers. Whenever we are adopting this approach, we are having most impact, because we train teachers, for instance, who are able to train their students, and this is definitely our approach every time we are moving. One example here in Morocco, we have been working with the Minister of Education, and within 4 years we have been able to train 120,000 teachers on basic skills for computer science, but it was huge. We started by training 500 teachers, and then they were able to duplicate and then to train the trainers. And our next wave, starting from next year, is to start training the students at grade 5, and then go below the grade 5. This is one testimony of one young graduate about how the computer science helped her, and how she is eager, to go and to help others to make difference on their life. And the last one I want to share with you is our aim on getting people involved with these initiatives as Microsoft Philanthropy, on how to become, each of us, advocate for computer science, how to promote it all, how to voice, I mean, to hear the voice of young people, of as much diversity we can embrace through our approach. And definitely we are working very closely with our NGOs, and we have a couple of programs where we are supporting the NGOs to go abroad and to address as much as people they can. The volunteering program, we have a couple of materials. I will share with you the website, is where we have a couple of materials with anybody can start being volunteer and bring people on this journey of computer science skills. So thank you very much for your time.